Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito, and we have a big week ahead of us. The Premier League starts a week yesterday, starts on Friday, but we will kick off a week to yesterday because our game is going to be on Sunday against Arsenal. But what is happening in Manchester United? Because there is a lot that is happening, and this week is huge for outgoings, incomings, and the whole shebang. And we are going to get into it. And for the headlines, this is what we're going to be talking about. Manchester United are still in for Carlos Baleba. Manchester United are making us believers. You know what I'm saying? And this story, wow, I will dive more into it. The second one is the Dournaruma situation. What's going on? Goalkeeper. Are we going to keep Onana? We've been seeing Altay Biende. He's been all right. Are we keeping him? Is he going? Are we going to get Lamens? Are we going to get Dournaruma? What's the story there? We will dive into it. Rasmus our Danish striker, who I feel bad for. Like, my heart goes out to Rasmus Højlund. Unfortunately, this is the nature of the beast. This is how it is. If you don't shape up, you get shipped out. And this is what's going on. So we'll talk more on Rasmus Højlund. And then Garnacho. Garnacho's he continues his weight. We'll talk about that. What is that doing to him as a player? And then there's Jadon Sancho, who, by the way, we've not heard anything going on there. We'll give you an update on that. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. So, Manchester United are in for Carlos Baleba. Now, we have already, we, to the shock of the Manchester United fans, Ineos have gone out there and had a very good summer. Okay, you know, when I say very, it's going to make people think some type of way. Because, hey, I don't want to say the wrong thing. However, what I say is we've had a decent window. We brought in Cunha, we've brought in Buemo, and we have also brought in Šeško. We did bring in Leon, but Leon was bought way before. Anyway, we've brought in that attacking reinforcement, something that we lacked last season. And Manchester United are still looking into add, which we need them to. Because our midfield, as you can see, as that previous episode that we talked about, what's happening in our midfield, it's almost as if they listened to that episode that we are crying out for a midfielder. And immediately after I posted that, like after that story came out, there was already this influx of stories of Baleba, Manchester United, and I just sat there thinking to myself, wow. It's almost as if God is listening to us and he's like, look, I understand my Man United fans and I know what they want, so I'm going to give them, you know. So yeah, that was really cool because we were talking about the problems that we think could happen or will happen in our midfield and how we wanted to solve them and what we needed to do. And we actually talked about bringing in a new midfielder, you know, and for United to go out there and it's almost like they're going through the internet and checking everything that we are saying, not us by ourselves, but everybody else, anybody that talks about Manchester United, anybody that's got anything. I think they're listening to us and they're like, look, these guys have got a point, or I don't know. But we're in for Baleba. Now, again, I have a little bit of PTSD, and rightfully so, because I am still a little bit concerned on how we are doing all these deals. I'm not worried. I'm happy. You understand? I'm happy that we've bought these players, but I can't help but think about how we went about getting these players, how it is we went about getting the funds to buy these players, because not so long ago these guys were screaming, we are broke, we are almost for bankruptcy. And for some reason, I feel like that story has just been thrown out, or it's just been ignored, or people are just excited about the summer that we are having and the purchases that we've done, and they're completely not trying to deep this situation. Mind you, at the time when Sir Jim came out and was having those interviews, because he had that interview with Gary Neville, that was a big one. That was right during the announcement of the new stadium. There was I forgot exactly what had happened, but we knew that story was going to be that story that tries to cushion the blow or whatever it is that we were experiencing. But in that interview, Sir Jim explained that the club didn't have money. He explained that the club needed to pay. They're still paying existing salaries and installments of players that they bought from previous, and I was just sitting there literally panicking to myself, shitting and wondering if we are ever going to do anything. And then all of a sudden we are making these purchases, and then all these players want to come to United, and I get that, and I'm happy about that. But I need them to break it down and explain to us that, look, we did this money is coming from here. Because at no point has anybody talked about FFP and PSR during this time when we've been buying Brian Mbuemo, Mateus Cunha, even Benjamin Sesko, and now we're going for Baleba. Nobody has spoken about FFP and PSR rules yet. But then we're waiting for some time. Next thing you hear, Manchester United and their business was this, they're in trouble, they need to pay a fine. This, you see, we don't want that. We need to know where all this money is coming from. Now, having said that, I say that, I wanted to say that because that mentality or that attitude put me in a box. It made me feel I cannot think about any player that we can get. That is why I've been shocked at the players that we've brought in. The amount of money that we're spending to bring these players in. I'm surprised because Ineos put me in a box. They put me in a box and told me how to think. And they made me afraid. Now, I'm still here thinking to myself, should I or should I not be afraid? Is all this going to come back and bite us? Do you understand? So now, I'm sitting here and I'm reading this Baleba story, and it is catching momentum. It really is. Apparently, Baleba is interested in coming. And we know that Baleba played with Lenny Yoro when they were at Lille. So it's another reunion. I am convinced that Brighton will do a deal if we go out there and present the right money, because Brighton are a super club. When I say a super club, I mean they have a system in place that attracts and brings in some of the most rarest gems that you can find out there. Their scouting system is top tier, because we, like the Premier League, we are rating Brighton. We are rating them for the players. Look, we want Baleba. You think they are going to struggle to replace Baleba? I don't think so. They have got a conveyor belt of players. If this player leaves, this one will just come in. And it's almost like a like for like. Like the strength and everything, it's weird. But they have that thing going. And this is something that they've been doing for years. So, I personally don't think that we are going to have a problem with Brighton when it comes to signing Baleba. My concern is the money. The money. Because when I look at how much Baleba costs, they want close to what Chelsea paid for Moses Caicedo. And Moses Caicedo, they bought him for £150 million. So Brighton are just about to laugh to the bank if we were to purchase this thing. Now, I don't know how Manchester United are going to negotiate this deal. They're probably going to use the system that they've been using with add-ons and you know what I'm saying? These additional stuff to help with the player and the contract. So I'm not too worried there. My only worry is that money. 115 is a lot of money. And I think for Manchester United, that will be a record, because I don't think we've ever spent that kind of money on any player. Not Pogba, not Alexis Sanchez, not who has also been another expensive. Not even Højlund, not even Anthony. We didn't spend that much. It's going to literally be a Manchester United record if we get Baleba, anything 100 million going up, 110 going up, that is a record for us. So I don't know if we're going to do this deal, but it looks like it because apparently Man United are on Baleba. And if we're going to take anything out of this season, every player that we've been linked with and that we've wanted, we've got. How crazy is that? Like, how crazy is that to say out loud? Like, remember the De Jong story? How long did we run after De Jong? I think it was 2 years, 3 years. Like, after one player, and he still hasn't come, and he's even in, like, these things. I'm impressed. I'm at the same time confused because I really need clarity. I don't want somewhere along the line there's some weird fine that is coming our way because we spent ridiculously and all this other nonsense, and then it has to. I don't want to be derailed. But word on the street is that Manchester United are pushing hard for Carlos Baleba, and this box-to-box beast of a player is really going to change the game for us, because we are talking about our midfield issues. We know that Bruno now is not going to be in that number 10 role unless otherwise. We know that now he's in that pivot, and in that pivot he needs somebody who is robust, who is tenacious, who is hard, who is tough, who is fearless. Somebody that is willing to take on anybody. Stop counter-attacks, break presses, a press resistant. Somebody that can suffocate and choke teams in their half and allow us to thrive in their half. That is Carlos Baleba. That is what this midfielder is going to bring to Manchester United. I'm very intrigued to see the combinations, because I see him, I see with Bruno. He does all the busybody work, and Bruno just does the pinging and making sure that the ball it gets to the rightful men. I see him with Ugarte. I see him with Casemiro learning. I see him with Kobe. The combinations are there and endless. And if we add this guy into our team, this season, I'm sorry. This season, next season, we are there in Europe. Whether it is Europa League or Champions League, we are qualified. I can guarantee you that. We're not going to lose the amount of games that we lost last season. That is impossible. And when you think about it, we lost games, yes, but we still managed to. It wasn't bad, but we were not far off and we were not close. We were just there. Comme ci, comme ça. This season, I don't think there's going to be a lot of that. I don't think we're going to lose a lot of games. I think we're going to draw them, but I don't think that losing mentality is gone. Like, I don't think we're just gonna be battered every week. Like, you remember when Ruben went 3 weeks was just getting smacked up, and then we win one game here and there. Nah. That's not happening again. I see it in the team. Now, obviously, people will say I'm toxic, toxic positivity, they say. But no, I follow my team. I look at what they do, and that is where I base all my theories or all my judgments on everything, based on what I see, based on what I've been following. You guys do not understand. Manchester United is like my family. I eat, breathe, sleep Manchester United. Like, I am not missing any news about Manchester United. It's a religion. Do you understand? So I know what my club is all about. So when I give my judgment, it's based on everything that I have come across, everything that I've seen, and everything that I've observed. So I'm not going to sit here and just give you guys, like, just because I want. Nah. I give you guys stuff that makes sense. The next topic. Gianluigi Dournaruma. Guys, goalkeeper situation is heating up also. Now, we need to talk about this. I don't know if this topic is going to do anything, but we need to talk about the goalkeeper situation. Altay Biende has been stellar, has been good this preseason. Stopped penalties like we know him. He's been good. Biende. Now, we were told that he wanted to leave. I don't know what happened to that. Onana, yes, we know that he's injured, but something is off about this Onana injury. Did he get this injury when he was playing football in Cameroon or what? I don't understand. How did he get this injury? Was it a training? What? Because I don't think we got any clarity, or I don't think it was clarified where he picked up this injury. Now, if that is the case, that's spinning us this injury story. Does that mean that we're really going in for a goalkeeper? Because Dournaruma is sitting there looking nice, waiting for us to just come there, give PSG the amount of money, and then we take off. But Manchester United, I think, are trying to avoid overspending. Now, we are linked to two goalkeepers, heavily linked to two goalkeepers. One is Dournaruma, and the second one is Lamens. Lamens, we will get him for about 13 to 17 million pounds or euros. I think it's euros. Yeah, I think it's euros. 13 to 17, which is cheap. The guy is 23 years old. He's young. He is for the future. Whereas Dournaruma, PSG have slapped a 30 million, I think 30 to 40 million pound price tag, which I don't think it is much for Dournaruma, because he's a top quality goalkeeper. He's one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the world currently. Yes, he is a little bit out of our age range, but this is opportunity. It's those things. Who thought that Dournaruma would be leaving PSG? Who thought that PSG would be recycling Dournaruma? Now the PSG have already bought that keeper that they want to bring in, Chevalier or whatever his name is. He's in, meaning that Dournaruma is not going to see shit unless he decides to say, look, okay, I want to fight for my position, blah blah blah. But that doesn't work with goalkeepers. Goalkeepers cannot sit and fight for their positions, unlike the outfield players. If the manager has picked his goalkeeper, his number one, that's it. Yes, you can duke it out. Yes, you can have your moments too. But goalkeepers, it's very different from outfield players. So, Dournaruma, there is a real opportunity there for us to go and grab this world-class goalkeeper. 27 years. Was it 26, 27 years? Like, just won the Champions League, his first Champions League. I think he is now on that trajectory. And we know goalkeepers. Manuel Neuer is playing now. He's playing for Bayern Munich. And how old is he? 37. 36, 37. Donnarumma is 27. 26, 27. He's got at least 10 years in him. And we know goalkeepers age like wine. They get better as they get older. So, it's tricky. It's very tricky in that goalkeeper situation. So, we're still not sure. We're still not sure about what's happening there. The next topic that we're going to be talking about is Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund has succumbed to the pressure. He has come to terms with his departure from Manchester United. And, you know, the game against Fiorentina, I don't know if anybody saw that. But like I just said previously, that I sleep, breathe Manchester United. I personally think I kind of got an idea of who's going to start against Arsenal. And I could be wrong, but the players that managed to play close to 90 minutes, those are the ones that are going to start that game against Arsenal. Guaranteed. I'm telling you. Because there's no way you are... No. 90 minutes, those players are going to play. So, Bryan Mbeumo, Cunha, Mason Mount, Bruno, Dogu, Yoro, Ahmad. About 7 players are going to play for Manchester United. I'm just guessing. We are going to talk more about that during this week, because this is an exciting week. So, Rasmus Højlund, he knows, we play against Fiorentina. This is a friendly, right? And the gaffer doesn't bring Rasmus Højlund in. That was the sign. That was it. And I don't want to be that guy. But for the manager to reach this point where he doesn't even put Rasmus Højlund, I feel validated in me complaining about how Rasmus Højlund was started. How I knew that this guy, yes, he had that instinct thing, but I don't know. There's just something about big clubs that just swallow small players. And I believe that Rasmus Højlund is, I don't want to say this, but he's not the guy that we thought that he was going to be. Unfortunately. He needs time. Time that we don't have. There was a report that I was reading. Apparently, Manchester United have adopted this new thing. If you don't hit the ground running and perform in 2 years, they are moving you on. And I like that. We need to stop holding on to players. We have issues right now with Rasmus Højlund because we're holding on to him. Or Bruno, or Rashford, or Lindelof, or Luke Shaw. We're just holding on to players because we need to get used. You look at Man City. I told you about Nico. I don't know if they've sold him. I don't know if he's still gone. But I think he played. Now, they're trying to get rid of Savinho. He's gone to Tottenham. Like, hey, if the price is right, adios. Chelsea have been doing it easy. Like, they just get rid. You bounce. You bounce. You bounce. We need better. Now, we need to adopt that mentality as well. Yes, not exactly the same, but we need to create an atmosphere where these players know that, oh my God, when you come to United and you don't perform, you're out the door. That should be it. So when you choose to decide, or when you decide you want to come to Manchester United, you already know what the standards are. So that is my thing. So with Rasmus Højlund, man, I really feel bad. But AC Milan are edging close to getting a loan move for him for 4 million. And I'm assuming it's with an option to buy, because Manchester United are really ready to part ways. And the option to buy, I think it's going to be around 40 million. AC Milan didn't qualify for Europe, which is strange. They didn't qualify for Europe and they're looking to get a striker. They've been playing friendly games. I'm worried. They need to start Serie A as quick as possible because, these friendly games are not helping their cause. I don't know how... I don't know if Rasmus Højlund is also seeing the situation and just thinking to himself, damn, what have I gotten myself into or whatever. But, he's fallen out of the pecking order and he is on his way out. He's trying to fight. He's trying to resist. He's trying to stake his claim there. But Ruben Amorim's benching him against Fiorentina and not bringing him on was a clear sign. And then afterwards, we hear Ruben saying, "Man, now we have our striker." He's just pumping the new striker. So it's unfortunate for Rasmus Højlund, And I know a lot of fans wanted to see him thrive, and I get that. Like we are Manchester United. Every player that we bring in the club, we expect them to excel. And when they don't do, especially if you formed an attachment to them, it can be painful. And unfortunately for us, Rasmus Højlund was just not it. And I'm comfortable with it because I know the game. I understand football. And I know us keeping him is not benefiting us at all. Like, it's not gonna change anything. You see, for me, last season was it for me. Last season, we lacked goals. We really, really, really lacked goals. And the one thing that you needed were... Now, I get it. A lot of people are going to bring this up and they're like, no, you didn't get chances. That is a lie. We started off like that. He started off not getting chances, and then he started getting way more. And then the game just, became complicated and it left him. I don't understand. But all of a sudden, Rasmus Højlund is not putting in these chances. They were clear-cut chances. He had plenty of chances. His goal tally could have gone up. In fact, those little moments where he had opportunities, if he had bagged those things, I think he would have been given an opportunity, like his first season. Because his first season, what we said was like, look, Rasmus Højlund was feeding off of scraps, but he still managed to find the net. He still managed to... Now, if he had brought that same mentality or that same instinctual stuff that he had from that first season, into last season, I don't think we would be screaming to get rid of Rasmus Højlund now. I think the case for everybody saying, oh, we need strikers, we need backup plan. I think Rasmus Højlund would have stayed as a backup plan if he had performed. But he didn't perform. And that is the problem. Yeah, look, your passport is your performance. You perform good, you get on the plane. It's that simple. So, yeah, and then the last topic that we're going to be talking about, and obviously I'm reluctant to talk about this, but we need to, because this boy is still in our books. He's part of the bomb squad, and his name is Alejandro Garnacho. Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting for Chelsea to do things. I think they will get the deal done. I forgot when the transfer window closes. Is it September? And I actually did something about it, because I remember when the story came out, I spoke about it. But anyway, this week is a big week because we know the Premier League starts on Friday. All the teams are now just doing their final preparations, just tweaking here and there. And if there's a player that they've been out hunting there for, they're bringing them in. Manchester United are still in for Baleba, so we're still going to be trying to finalize that situation. Whereas for the new signings and everybody, it's all business, preparing for the Premier League. Garnacho's at home, training by himself in his gym. He has agreed personal terms with Chelsea or Manchester United, but the deal with Manchester United and Chelsea has not yet been finalized. It has not. So boy cannot move anywhere. He's part of the bomb squad, meaning he's not allowed to train with the first team or be in and around them. So he's at home doing his thing, training by himself. Look, this was something that I was avoiding for Garnacho. Like I said, he's a very good player, talented. But his attitude is the thing that's going to screw with him. And I have already written him off. Like, even if Garnacho was to go and become some sort of great player, his attitude for me stinks. And that is always going to be the thing that I see. I don't know if that makes any sense. So, at the moment, why is it difficult for Garnacho to secure a deal or move? This should have been quick, fast. But his antics is putting a lot of people on alert. Clubs are looking at this behavior and they're like, now Chelsea, of course, I don't know what they're smoking, but they look at Garnacho and they're thinking, you know what, let's get him. I'm assuming they think that they're going to, okay, maybe when he is their player, like if he becomes a Chelsea player, maybe they'll loan him out or whatever, I don't know. But he's late. He needs plenty of time to gel with his new team. Is he going to start for the Premier League? I doubt it. Because he's not match fit. He's not. So his progression in the Premier League has been stunted by his stupid antics. He could have been a good boy, could have trained with the squad, done everything, remain fit while waiting for Chelsea to do their thing. I think Chelsea would have even sped up their process to try and sign Garnacho because his attitude is on point. But his attitude sucks and they're like, hey, let's take our time. Let's do all the other deals first and then we'll come to this geezer. They're looking for Xavi Simon. Like, I'm looking at Chelsea and I'm like, yo, what the hell are you guys trying to accomplish? Like, what is this? What is this? All these players, I get it. I mean, we might do shopping at Chelsea next season. You never know. Or in January. You never know. There could be an opportunity. You never know. So Garnacho is sitting there not training. He's not with the squad. He is not getting any tactical what. He's going to need time to game time. He's going to have to win his spot. Like the journey that he has put himself through. Oh my God. Like, if you're not Lionel Messi or Mason Greenwood, like when I say that, I mean a player that stands out regardless of whatever competition, like you will be picked. If you're not any of them players, you are going to struggle in this new Chelsea squad, because this new Chelsea squad is young, talented for years, and they're hungry. Everybody wants a position. You couldn't handle benching at Manchester United. You couldn't handle, man. Good luck with the bench at Chelsea. Good luck. Because you were throwing fits at United over small things where you literally could have played. Now, good luck at Chelsea. Maybe they like you there. Maybe they're going to do everything in their power for you to play. Maybe. But again, I look at you as a normal player. Like, Garnacho to me is normal. It's like Pedro. He's normal. That's why I'm not losing my sleep about Garnacho. Anyway, I think I've spoken so much about Garnacho. That was it. But, ladies and gentlemen, my final thoughts. The season that's coming up for Manchester United fans, you guys need to understand that we are in a rebuild. Okay? A rebuild means that we are getting rid of players, old players, players that are not going to be useful to us, bringing in new players. Now, obviously, we cannot change 11 players all at once. You know, we can't do that. But slowly, we can. We were 15th last season, and one of the biggest issues last season for us was we were not scoring goals. That was one of the biggest issues. Now, has the preseason shown us that we're going to score goals? We haven't scored much, but there's evidence that we're creating way more chances than like we used to. Like, the chances that we are creating now are beyond. It's almost like as if they've doubled compared to last season. And that is encouraging to me, because if you put the right players, then those chances and those opportunities are going to be converted. And that is exactly what we have done as Manchester United. Bringing in Brian, bringing in Mateos, bringing in Šeško. We've brought players in that are going to convert. The other players that remain are going to level up. So, we are in that rebuild. If these players go on and shock us and go and win the Premier League, now I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but enjoy it, embrace it. Don't look down on it. Don't say, this is a blip in the matrix. No, it just shows that we are ahead of schedule. If anything good happens, like amazing this season, know that we are ahead of schedule in our rebuild. Remember, this is a journey. 2028, these guys want to win the Premier League. What year is it now? 2025. Do you see what I'm saying? There's 3 years to get there. Now, I'm not trying to justify what they were saying, but I need you to understand what a rebuild is. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal had to stay out of Europe for 2 seasons, come back, slowly build. Yes, they were not winning shit, but look at where they are now. This season for them is do or die. They have to win some silverware, and significant silverware, not just mama hoo-hoo. You know what I'm saying? Not just mama hoo-hoo silverware. No, they need to win the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. You know, those are the big cups. Yes, they can win the Carabao, but the Carabao is rotating amongst the teams. See, and also need to win stuff. So as United fans, we need to pay attention to the improvements from last season. That is it. That is it. Don't compare. Don't get stuck in the conversations of nonsense. No. We need to improve from that. I don't know how many points it was. Was it 60 or 59 or whatever? We need to improve on that. The goal difference. We need to improve on that. Our position. We need to improve on that. The games lost and drawn. We need to improve on that. Now, last season we lost way more. And the season where Erik ten Hag came third, we didn't lose a lot of games. We drew a lot of games, but we didn't lose. That's what I always say. It's better to draw than to lose. Just get that point. That point will be fine. because you just keep on building momentum. Like, we can't go 3 weeks without earning a point. Impossible. We need to earn points. So this season for me, I've managed my expectations. I've opened my eyes. If we go out there and go and smack the Premier League, I won't be surprised. I will enjoy it. I will embrace it. I'm not gonna shy from it. But if we have that slow build up, also that. What I don't want is people shitting on the players immediately, like what is happening already. Because people are already going in on the player. We've never seen anything. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't deal with this. I can't. Like, I'm just going to watch a lot of people talk and say, hey, there's no improvement. I will not reply. I will not engage, because my eyes tell me a different story. And my eyes, they never deceive me. So I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito. And this is a big week, ladies and gentlemen. It is a big, big week. Baleba coming in, hopefully. Preparations. The Premier League is about to start. Stay tuned for so much that we're going to be bringing into, because we are planning on doing a Premier League prediction. And I think this is going to be Glory Red's first Premier League prediction, where we sit before the season, predict the outcome of the season, and then we wait for the next season and laugh at ourselves and see if we've got any of these things right. So what we're going to be talking about in this prediction is the top 4, the top 6, the top 8, the top 10, literally the whole Premier League, where teams are going to be, who will be relegated, who's going to win the Golden Boot, who's going to win the most assists, we're going to be talking. Those are literally the main things. So stay tuned for that show. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast.